Whoa. Spend a few hours wandering around the... Didn't she say that she left? Oh, just start walking again. Okay. I was like... I thought... Why are we still here? I swear I could have sworn that I just read that we left. Spend the next few hours wandering around the preserve. Never run out of things to see. There are birds, lizards, all kinds of other creatures, plus a forest that reminds me of Korea. The calm beauty of it all helps me feel better after hearing about the bird. At least it got to spend its last few days in a place as gorgeous as this. After a while, I leave the park and wait for a shuttle to take me back where I came from, and then walk the rest of the way to the library. Once I'm home, I spend the rest of the day napping and watching TV while I wait for Juliet to wake up. At night, I'm dozing in my room, drifting in and out of sleep, when there's a knock at my door. 3 knocks, like always.
Come in.
The door swings open and Juliet stands there. I leap to my feet, sleepiness disappearing in an instant.
Good evening, Miho.
Hey!
She welcomes me into her arms with a hug and a kiss. I'm sure last night's conversation is still front and center in her mind. The two of us go downstairs and Juliet starts preparing tea, setting a mug at both our spots at the table.
How was your visit to the nature preserve?
It was really nice. I had no idea there was a place like that in Wellington. All those trees. It was even more impressive than the gardens or Mount Victoria.
I'm glad you enjoyed yourself. Were you able to find your bird?
Well, kinda. I found Amaya at least. She told me that the bird passed away.
Oh no, Miho. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. I know they did all they could to help it. All of us did. I think I'll go back sometime. Just to look around. I feel like I could spend days there and still find new things.
I'd like to go with you sometime. It's been years since I've gone to visit myself.
That sounds great. I'd love to see it with you.
With a smile, Juliet pours us both some tea and sits down. I dump sugar into mine while she leaves hers untouched.
It's a date then. I was also wondering if you might accompany me somewhere tonight as well.
Oh, sure. Where did you want to go?
Well, as I'm sure you know, tomorrow is Halloween. It was always Cosette's favorite holiday. It's also a day to honor the dead.
Now hold on. That can't be right. Because Miho was saying that the play is in December. And it's just over a month. Okay, well. I guess. Is it at the very beginning of December? Is it December 1st when this play is happening? Good grief.
Every year at midnight, I go to lay flowers at her grave.
I reach across the table, offering my hand, which Juliet takes.
Of course I'll go.
Thank you. I thought perhaps we could leave some flowers for Zhongying as well. Only if you want to, of course.
I'd like that. I'm sure they loved flowers. I know I do.
I'm sure they'd be grateful to receive them.
Some human traditions and rituals still seem foreign to me and not something I'd think about doing myself. It was true for plenty of other things that I now take for granted, though, like holding hands and drinking tea. Once we've both drained our cups, we head out into the night together, beginning the walk to the cemetery. Along the way, Juliet guides us to the patch of wildflowers, where she picks some to leave for Cosette. The ones she chooses have white petals and purple ones. I pick a handful that are dark blue. They remind me of the clothes Zhongying was wearing when I first met them. Like usual, we're practically the only ones out this late. We pass by houses with the lights off and the curtains drawn and shops that are too dark to see into. I used to be more comfortable in the nighttime, where I felt invisible and secure. Although I don't feel the need to be hidden just to be safe anymore, I still enjoy the quiet calmness it provides, sort of like the nature preserve earlier. We reach the cemetery, and Juliet leads the way down several trails and through the trees. I remember which grave is Cosette's, even though it doesn't look much different from the others. Juliet and I both come to a stop at the same time, pausing in front of the simple memorial. She stoops down and wipes some dust away from the nameplate, and leaves the bundle of flowers that she chose. They're wrapped with a small ribbon that she brought with her and held in place by a small rock. Then she steps back to stand beside me. I find it interesting that this image is very different from the other time when we were here. I don't say anything, but silently take her hand again. She squeezes tightly. Last time we were here, I ran away as the reality of death and human mortality hit me. Now, knowing what I do and having accepted it, I can appreciate Juliet's loss so much more. So much love and so much of her life are buried just a few feet beneath us, with only a small stone to represent it all. Juliet clears her throat and, still facing Cosette's grave, begins to speak.
Even now, so many years after Cosette passed away, still surprises me sometimes that she's gone. When I wake up, I half expect to hear her laughter from the hallway, or see her reading in the library, or find her shoes by the back door. I'm holding on to these little memories, these little paints. I thought I could keep her alive in my heart. There's no one else left to remember her. The way her laugh sounded, the books she enjoyed, the clothes she preferred. So I clung to those memories, for fear that they would cease to exist if I didn't. I've told you, Miho, how I've tried to live to honor Cosette, by doing my part to create the kind of world she dreamed about living in. A world of kindness and hope. Believe it or not, that was easy. Any pain or trouble was acceptable so long as it took me closer to that goal. Until one day, it wasn't. At the time, I thought that helping you was just another step down the path I had chosen for myself. But as time went on, and you blossomed and learned to live, it made me realize that I had reached a dead end. I had spent so long striving for this new world that I forgot to appreciate the one around me. And when I realized that, I felt trapped. Were I to stray from my path, I didn't know where it would take me. My world wasn't there anymore. Not just Cosette. Not just the people we knew. Technology improved. People's lives improved. And everything moved forward. Everything but me. All I could think to do was run away. As I always have when faced with a difficult problem. Whether throwing myself off of the world or refusing to face a life without my daughter. The only direction I've ever been able to move is backwards. Last night, when you told me that you wanted to do the things I'd like to do, for me to take the lead more often, being with you is the first thing I've wanted for myself in a long, long time. To the point where I'm not even sure how to do that.
Finally, Juliet faces me, just like last night, just like in the library, just like so many other times before.
Can you show me? Can you show me how to move forward?
I gently take both of Juliet's hands and guide them to my heart, holding them against me. I can feel every beat and know that she can too.
We can figure it out together. You already helped me with that after all. After I found out Jungin was dead, I felt the same way. Like I didn't know what else to do with my life, or with myself. If you think about it, by searching for them for so long, I'd been doing the same thing you were all this time. But it was because of you and Aspen that I decided to stay in Wellington. The two of you showed me how to keep going, even when I didn't know where to go. And how just because they aren't around anymore, that doesn't change what they did for me. I wouldn't be here talking to you if it wasn't for them. So I'll always be grateful for that, even though they've been gone for so long.
I turned to look at Cosette's grave beside us. It would be fair to say that she's changed my life too, indirectly.
It's the same thing with you and Cosette. She made your life great, and I'm sure you made hers great too. I didn't know her, but from everything you've told me about her, I'm sure she wouldn't want you to hurt or feel sad about her all the time. I'm sure she would have wanted you to smile when you think of her, and to find lots of other reasons to smile too.
Juliet also studies the moonlit grave. I wonder if she's picturing Cosette the person, or if she's seeing the stone for what it is. After a long time, she nods.
Yes. Yes, I do believe you're right. I'll never stop loving her. Or missing her. She lived a wonderful life and died a peaceful death. She'll remain at peace forevermore. But I'm still alive. And it's time that I acted like it. Can make a new life for ourselves here. One step at a time. Together.
Right. Together. You're not alone anymore. Neither of us are. I just have one question though. You said here. Does that mean that you'll stay?
Yes. Maybe someday we'll go. But I want it to be because both of us want to. Not just me. There's plenty of time for that in the future. Right now, I think I'd like to learn to enjoy Wellington again. To see it the way you do. Fresh and exciting.
I'd like that too.
Relief washes over me like a wave. I was prepared to go with her if it's what she really wanted, but I'd much rather stay here for a while longer. After tonight, it feels like I can finally relax without worry following me around. Juliet and I are still together, and we're not going anywhere. Whatever happens next, I'm sure we'll be able to handle it because we both have each other. I let go of Juliet so that I can step forward and place the flowers that I brought for Jungin on the ground beside Cosette's grave. They're a little bit smooshed, but I'm sure that's alright. I don't think they'd mind. Almost immediately, a light breeze picks up, scattering the bundle lightly to the winds. I think that's alright too. I'll never forget about Jungin either. No matter how far I go and how many people I meet, they'll always be special to me. They set me on my own path, the one that I walked for decades. If I could somehow tell them about everything I've seen and done since then, and about the new adventures that I'm sure to have with Juliet, I think they'd be just as excited for me as I am. Sad I never got to thank them properly, but just like Cosette and Juliet, I think that living my life to its fullest is the best way I could do that. Juliet and I stay quiet for a little longer, both reflecting on everything. Finally, she puts her arm around me and gestures with her hand in the direction that we came from.
Well, shall we be getting back to the library? I imagine you could use some rest before tomorrow evening's activities.
Sounds good to me. I'm ready to go if you are.
Juliet turns to give one last look at the grave. The flowers she placed shake in the breeze, while mine are spread further and further. She smiles at me.
Yes. I think I'm ready.
As the oh, Aspen's here. I guess this is a different day. As the day winds down and starts to get darker, a light breeze starts to pick up. Not enough to be cold, but enough to make me glad I have my jacket. Aspen, Juliet, and I sit out on the front porch with the lights on, watching the road.
How long until people start showing up?
Soon, I'd imagine. The early evening is when most trick-or-treating begins.
They'd better hurry before Miho eats all the candy.
It's Halloween and none of you dressed up? Come on, show some spirit. God damn.
Can't argue with that.
I unwrap another piece and stuff it into my mouth, shoving the wrapper into my pocket with a bunch of others.
Maybe if you go knocking on doors, you could convince people you're a kid in a costume too. That way you could get your own candy.
But she already has candy right here. Duh.
Do you think that would work?
It's hard to talk with my mouth full of chocolate and caramel.
No, but it's funny to imagine.
Oh, look! Here come a few of them now.
Sure enough, a group of 3 kids appears at the bottom of the hill and start making their way up towards us. I stand up, the giant bowl in my hands.
Oh, how cute!
One of the kids has a white sheet draped over them with big holes cut out for the eyes. The other 2 are dressed like characters I've seen on TV.
Trick or treat!
The 3 of them hold out open pillowcases, and I toss a handful of candy into each one.
Here you go.
One with the big eyes goes even more wide-eyed.
Whoa, that's a lot. Thanks a bunch. Wait, was it? Should I take some back?
Girl. Aspen swats at me gently.
You can't do that.
The 3 kids hurry off, probably afraid that I really was going to reach in and reclaim some of the candy. I sit back down.
How much am I supposed to give them?
Usually a piece or 2, but it's not a problem. We still have several unopened bags inside.
Oh, hell yeah. Several. God damn.
Great.
I grab another piece for myself and munch on it.
Well, in that case...
Aspen reaches over and picks out a couple candies for herself, too. It isn't long before the next batch of kids shows up, with another close behind them. The second group even has some parents accompanying them.
Trick or treat!
Mamma mia, please don't do that again. It gets later and later, but more kids start arriving rather than less. I hand out candy until my arm gets tired and Aspen takes over. More than once, Juliet has to go inside and get more bags of candy to refill the bowl.
This is more work than the library on a busy day.
Even my first day of work, when Aspen helped me run the desk, felt less busy than this evening does. But also, it's a lot of fun. Many of the kids have creative costumes, and I even recognize some of the characters they're dressed as. The less creative costumes are still cute too, and it's nice seeing so many happy smiles as they all walk away. It's not until the moon is high in the sky that the trick-or-treaters stop showing up. We can still hear the occasional whoop and shout from the streets nearby, but no one else comes up the path. Big bowl of candy is nearly empty, with less than a full layer left behind. A bunch of empty bags fill one of the recycling bins. In the end, we managed to go through all of the candy Julia brought. After about 10 minutes without any more kids, we finally get up from the porch.
I believe we can call it a night.
That was certainly the busiest Halloween I've ever been a part of.
Really? I didn't know if that was normal or not.
For Welly, maybe. But I don't get many trick-or-treaters at my apartment. And back home, there are like maybe 5 kids in town at any given time.
God.
More candy for you.
Speaking of which, I hope I can count on the 2 of you to finish off the leftovers we have here.
You don't even have to ask.
I'd better take what I can before Miho claims it all for herself, shouldn't I?
Not if I beat you to it anyway.
Laughing, the 3 of us clean everything up and then finally head back inside the library.
That was quite fun, but I do think I'm ready for bed. Is something wrong?
What? I barely register her words. Something is wrong, but I don't know what. As soon as I walk through the front door, I can tell, but I can't place what it is.
Miho?
Both of them stop walking, watching me with concern. Finally, it hits me.
It's cold.
It's cold.
It doesn't take long to spot the source. One of the windows near the shelves, not far from Aspen's usual table, is wide open. The curtains flutter with the breeze. Two of them follow my line of sight.
Oh, did we forget to close this? But then, that doesn't make sense, does it? Why would we have just opened one of the windows?
We wouldn't. That window was definitely shut earlier.
It's Halloween. Maybe some kids snuck in here as a prank. Is anything missing?
The three of us look around. If it's Silver, I swear to God. Three of us look around, inspecting the shelves, front desk, and everything in between. If something's gone, it's not immediately visible.
I can't see anything out of the ordinary.
Me either.
Yeah.
Something still doesn't sit right with me.
I'm gonna go look upstairs.
The other two follow behind me. Juliet goes to check her office, but it appears untouched. Aspen waits at the top of the stairs, watching. Meanwhile, I go to my room. Grabbing the handle, I push the door open and turn on the lights. I can hardly believe what I see. It looks normal. My window's open too. My bed sheets and pillows are strewn across the floor like someone climbed across the bed. What few other possessions I have are also scattered around the room as if a tornado had blown through.
Miho? Is something amiss?
I can hear them both hurrying my way as I remain frozen in the doorway. Behind me, Aspen gasps as she gets a glimpse of my room.
Who? Why?
I have a feeling I already know the answer to one of those questions, but not the other. Stepping inside, I mechanically pick up my things and put them back where they belong. Everything is here except for...
My scroll!
I thought you kept that on you at all times. Little piece of paper, the only belonging that I really care about, is nowhere to be seen. I check under my bed and in every nook and cranny just to be sure, but it's gone. That fact is all the confirmation I need.
I'll be back.
I thought she was about to just jump out the window. I push my way past Aspen and Juliet's shocked faces and dash back downstairs. Both Aspen and Juliet shout after me as I barrel out of the library, but I ignore them both. The instant I'm outside, I transform and keep running. There's no question or doubt as to who took my scroll. The question is why. As angry as I could be, I force myself to stamp that feeling down, at least until I know Silver's reasons. That seems unnecessary. The path to Mount Victoria is more crowded than I've ever seen it. Both the roads and sidewalks are full of people, mostly parents with their kids. Some of them point or cheer as I run past, but I don't give them a second thought. None of them try to stop me or get in my way. By the time I climb the mountain and reach Silver's part of the forest, it's dark. She isn't in any of her usual spots, but I can sense that she isn't far away. Racing through the darkness, I keep my nose near the ground, hot on her trail. Then suddenly, just like last time, I find her. She moves in the darkness, a patch of shadow that's a different color than the rest. Her bead glows as vibrant as ever, illuminating her wrist. Shines on the unfurled paper in her hand. Now, if Miho can't read, definitely no way you can read, so what the fuck are you doing? Like always, she waits with her back to me.
So you came.
Of course I did! Give me back my scroll!
I keep my distance, but reach out my hand. She's just a few steps away. tilting her head to look up at the starry sky. Not the sky. The trees? Follow her gaze upwards and realize something. I've been here before. I recognize this tree. It's the one the bird fell from. That makes me pause. Has she been wondering about it all this time? Is this her way of asking? You best be joking. Fucking say psych right now, bro. She did follow me all the way home. I soften my voice, but know that I may as well be blunt.
It died, you know. They weren't able to save it.
Her posture doesn't change, but by the subtle light of her bracelet, I can see her fingers clench the edge of my scroll more tightly.
I met the woman who rescued it. She said the same thing that you did. That's just how nature is.
Silence. Gritting my teeth, I try to contain my growing frustration. Normally, I can tolerate her silence, but tonight, instead of just coming to talk to me like she knows I would, she steals my most beloved possession and makes me chase her out here. Also, she can fucking ignore me?
Don't you have anything to say? You must have come here for a reason, didn't you?
More silence. Not even a breeze disturbs it. Finally, I've had enough. I step forward, snapping a branch beneath my shoes.
Hey! Answer me, damn it! Stop acting like you don't care about anything!
That gets her attention. She looks at me over her shoulder, face hidden except for her eyes, and then faces me.
Were you to happen upon another burn, more broken than the first, would you still try to save it?
What is... You are the most infuriating person, I swear to God.
Of course.
Even knowing that your effort is likely to be futile?
Yeah, even then. At least there's a chance it would work out.
You speak like a human, fighting against the inevitability of death. While we could watch the river of life from its shores, you choose to struggle upstream. Why?
Why? Because otherwise it all just passes by. I did what you said and watched from the shores for so long because I didn't even think about joining it. But once I did, once I let someone pull me in, I realized I like it more this way. It's hard sometimes. I haven't even been trying that long, but those hard times just help me appreciate the good ones more. Or even at all. There's someone I met who was also afraid of getting hurt, and someone else who was afraid of just passing by. They showed me that those are parts of life too, just like death is for a lot of people. Who cares about living forever if you don't care about being alive? Immortal or not, it's all we have. You and me, my friends, that bird, it's the same for all of us. I could have run away. I thought about it a million times. It would have been a lot easier than staying. But I did stay. And so now, here I am. Someone took a chance on me once too. Even if I wouldn't have died, they still saved my life in a way. I thought it would be impossible for someone like me, like you and me, that it wasn't even worth the effort to try and change things. But I was wrong. And I'm glad that I was. And so that's why I do the same thing all over again, with the burn. Because if there's even a chance, it's worth trying.
Although I don't say it, I can't help but think even talking like this is something relatively new for me. Unlike Silver, who talks more like Aspen's old books most of the time. Just goes to show that there are lots of different paths our lives could have taken, but they both brought us here together for some stupid, fucked up reason. While Silver's still thinking about what I said, her eyes suddenly go wide at the same time that I feel something warm on my neck. Holding my necklace where I can see it, both Silver and I just stare as my bead brightens before our eyes. The bead is like, you've done it. Character development. Congratulations. The glow intensifies to the point that Silver has to shield her eyes and look away, although somehow it doesn't bother me. I also watch as another eyelash-thin crack appears, and then another. For a moment, I half expect it to just shatter, but it stops after the third crack, still holding itself together. The light from it also dims a little bit, but it's still brighter than it was. When I let go and it falls back against my neck, my bead feels heavier than normal too. Silver's able to look at me again. Though the shock has faded from her expression, her eyes still stay fixed on my bead. She laughs, but it's humorless. Shaking her head, she continues to stare at my necklace instead of my eyes.
I had hoped that by looking at this, I might be able to learn your secret. Some magic spell or incantation that you had invoked.
You're such a dipshit, dude.
At the very least, I thought I might understand. Even as I read it, I thought that I must be missing something. For what meaning could such simple instructions hold?
There's no fucking way that you're able to read.
Even as you arrived here, I hoped that perhaps you would reveal some missing part of the puzzle. So golden was your light as I approached your library that I thought it must be someone else. So bright that I could see it clearly. The same color as the person close to you. Now, I don't know if I should be disappointed or not to find there is no secret to these words. Is there?
Holding my scroll in front of her face the same way I held my necklace, her eyes glide across the characters.
수복강령. Please be happy.
Is that all it says? Is that it?
What simple nonsense.
That's all it says.
And yet, how could I deny that you've taken it to heart when your very aura tells me your truth?
It's all I can do to blink, to breathe, stay standing upright as the world narrows to just the two of us, all awareness of anything else falling away from me. Confusion is just as plain on Silver's face at my reaction as I struggle to speak.
You can read it? That's what it says?
After years of looking and trying to understand, and she can fucking read it just like that. Silver, who says she cares nothing for people in their lives or culture. I'm not the only one stunned. Parchment falls from Silver's hand as she drops it in shock, flutters to the ground and stays there even as a budding breeze starts to blow. That shock changes into understanding, and then Silver laughs again. Did she laugh before? Really laughs for the first time I've ever seen. That's what I thought. Her usual dignified and threatening poise is gone as she laughs so hard that it echoes around the woods. Clutching her chest, it's all she can do to remain upright as she acts like she's heard the world's funniest joke. Still, just like earlier, I'm not sure there's any humor in it. Really? Even a real laugh, she's not actually laughing? What the fuck is wrong with you? Finally, with a groan, she retrieves my scroll and then straightens up, wiping her eyes.
You're serious, aren't you? You never knew what it said before now.
Bitch, how come you can read? I shake my head.
I would call you a liar if you were anyone else. You've made a fool of me without even trying. Or rather, I've made a fool of myself.
Yeah. What the...
I thought your glow was the result of those words. But you achieved that by yourself. Whatever it is you feel, it's something you've learned on your own, isn't it? You truly believe all the things you said.
Maybe not on my own. I had a lot of help along the way. But yeah, I mean it. Every word.
I reach out a hand again, taking a step forward, then another and another. Stop just in front of Silver. All she has to do is take the final step forward. I don't demand anything, just reach. She eyes my hand warily, like a stray dog trying to decide if it should trust someone. I hold my breath, waiting. With a rustle, she pushes the paper into my hand and then backs away, looking at the ground.
Your path is different than mine. We may have more in common than I once thought, but I still cannot follow behind you. Though I can understand why you walk it.
You can? I nod.
And I understand why you said no. I hope you change your mind someday.
Perhaps. Although, I do not think we'll meet again.
If you say that shit and then fucking I see you again, I'm gonna beat you up. Okay? Do you understand? Words have meaning, and if you keep saying these words, you better not meet me again.
Wait, why not? Are you leaving?
Soon. I don't know when. I haven't decided. But I made up my mind before I ever visited your library.
Oh,
You're disappointed.
I don't know why.
I am. You're the first other Gumio I've ever known.
Yeah, and what a fucking delight it's been, huh?
You're like... family, I guess. Didn't you call us sisters before?
I don't think that's what happened. I don't think that's at all what... Nope. Silver blushes, averting her eyes.
Perhaps.
I don't think that that's how that went down, man.
Then that's what we are.
That's simple, is it?
It really is.
Silver shakes her head and looks around, regaining a bit of her standoffish composure. This is about the time when she'd typically transform and run away.
At least tell me before you leave, okay? Whenever it is.
No, she said that we weren't going to meet again. Y'all can't keep doing this to me. I'm so fucking pissed. She hesitates, but then agrees.
Fine. Goodbye, Miho.
Bye, Silver.
She walks towards me rather than away and comes to a stop right beside me. We both face in different directions. Slowly, she raises a hand and awkwardly pats me on the shoulder just once. Thanks, Dad. By the time I turn my head to look at her, all that I can see is the disappearing gleam of silver fox fur as she blends into the night. I'm alone, but I don't feel alone because she was never the one making us feel not alone in the first place. Looking at my scroll, there are a few new creases from where Silver held on to it, but they don't mess up the writing or anything. It's just another record of what we've been through together. The breeze from before picks up, making the paper flutter in my grip, and I use two hands to hold it. Seeing without reading, I let my eyes wander over the familiar characters. It's funny, all this time spent not knowing what they said, just to find out I've lived by them all along. Or at least, well, I've started to. Happiness, huh? That's a new one for me too, I think. Another abstract concept that didn't seem meant for me, but like everything else, it got easier along the way. Roll my scroll back up and store it safely in my pocket. The woods are dark as I walk through them, but I'm not afraid. Shining light of my bead brightens the path, leading my way back home. Wow! November passes without much trouble as summer gets closer and it grows warmer outside. Life at the library is the same as ever in a lot of ways. I've struggled for like the last fucking 15 minutes not to just constantly have songs pop into my head as words happen, but I'm not winning. Mornings are for breakfast with Juliet, and the days are spent working or with my friends. Juliet occasionally stays up late so that she can help out around the library more and get to know the patrons better. Aspen comes by when she can, sometimes only staying for a meal and sometimes spending the day with us. Haven't seen Silver since Halloween, so over a month by now, but I'm sure she's still out there somewhere. The evenings that have changed the most for Juliet and me. We spend more time together, not just at home. True to her word, we go for walks more often or out to dinner and to other fun places too. We still spend plenty of quiet time with each other too, of course. The days are getting longer and longer, which means more sunlight for her to avoid. The whole month goes by like that, and so does the start of December. Right, New Zealand. I was like, wait a minute, it's winter. Why are the days getting longer? It's the opposite over there, huh? Before I know it, we're just a couple weeks away from the end of the year. I look out the window of the nearly empty shuttle as it takes Juliet and I out of Wellington. She sits beside me, reading quietly. The view outside is new to me, and watching the busy city streets gradually turn into a nature-lined highway keeps me entertained. I'm glad for the sights, because we'll be traveling for a couple hours. It's a long way to the edge of the world. Around the time it becomes too dark for me to see very well is when Juliet tucks a bookmark into her novel and closes it, peering out into the night beside me.
It's not too much longer, I think. I don't remember for sure, though.
It's alright. I'm having a good time. I don't mind long rides when I'm not stowing away in a cabinet or something.
A cabinet?
That was how you first came to Wellington, right?
Yup. Although, I think I had about as much legroom as the other passengers did that time.
Okay, I'm beginning to think the airships are actually just planes.
This bus is pretty comfy, though.
Indeed. I'm glad it runs through the night. Last time I made this journey, I flew.
As a bat?
Yes, it's been that long.
I'm not sure I could run that far, even as a fox.
Most people walked back then, which could take several days. I much prefer how it is now.
Me too. Even though it's my first time.
There are a handful of others on board the bus with us, most of them with bags or other belongings close by. We're probably the only ones who plan to be returning to Wellington tonight. We make a few other stops along the way, and someone gets off at each of them until it's just the two of us and the driver who remain.
Going all the way to the edge?
Yes. We won't be descending, though.
Been a while since I've gone that far. You're heading back after, then?
Why do you sound so threatening?
We intend to. I'm saying goodbye to a friend. Will there still be shuttles operating in a couple hours?
I'll wait for you. Otherwise, you could be sitting around all night.
Wouldn't want that now, would we?
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Sure. We'll be there before too long.
The farther we go, the narrower the roads start to become again. The trees and foliage also thin out until they practically disappear. Finally, the shuttle pulls into a small, unpaved lot. Juliet leaves her book on the seat, and the two of us disembark. Oh, there under the moonlight, I get my first look at the overworld's edge. Metal fence runs along the abyss, seeming to stretch forever in either direction. Similar to the one at the top of Mount Victoria, but much taller. Out beyond the fence is the open air, and nothing else, just pure, endless nothingness. More stars than I've ever seen in my life decorate the sky. It's windier here than it is in the city, windy enough to be loud. Short footpath leads past the small empty building. Grass covers the area where we are, but fades into dirt and rock not too far away. path ends at a small entryway that makes the only gap in the fence. It's nicer than the rest of the area. Can't imagine the lift itself has changed very much since Juliet first arrived here. A shadowy figure stands there, waiting for Juliet. I gently nudge her forward.
Take your time.
Thank you, dear. I'll try not to be too long.
I watch as she strides ahead, meeting with Ezekiel in the shadow of the arch. I knew coming out here that their conversation would be between them alone. I want both of them to be able to say whatever they want to each other without worrying about me eavesdropping. Besides, I'm more interested in exploring. While the two of them talk, I decide to look around. Head over to the barrier. It sits right at the edge of the void, close enough that I can peer over the side. There's not much to see though, only stone and darkness. The underworld is down there, far, far below, but it's invisible from here. Wonder what the view is like during the day. Probably the same, but with blue sky instead of black. Nowadays, most fabled travel between the overworld and underworld on much faster elevators or use magical means. There are even airships that go up and down between the two. This is the first lift that I've ever heard of that's this old and slow. Doubt there are many of them left anymore. Still, it's not a surprise that this is how Juliet's friend would want to return. Probably exists for people like him who are old enough to remember how things used to be. I've heard that on some of the overworld's other edges, oceans spill over the sides like a waterfall, or towns are built on smaller shards of floating stone. It's a little boring here in comparison. I'd like to see the underworld at some point. Not sure that I'd want to live there, but maybe I'll change my mind when I go. I'm sure that Juliet and I will visit it together someday. Now that I'm not dreading the thought of leaving Wellington behind, I can appreciate the idea of moving castles and magic forests more than I could before. I walk for a while, following the rail, so it's impossible to get lost. Turns out that things aren't any more exciting further along though, just more grass and dirt. Eventually, I go back in the direction I came from, and it's not too long before I hear the distant sound of the lift departing. When I get back to the starting point, I find Juliet standing alone as the lift slowly descends. I walk to her side.
Ah, there you are. I was wondering where you'd gone. Thank you for waiting for me.
Of course. I just walked for a bit, but there wasn't much to see. How'd it go?
We said what I expect will be our last goodbyes. He goes eagerly to a well-deserved rest.
How do you feel? Are you okay?
I am. I'm grateful for everything. In the end, our paths diverged, and we're both going our separate ways without any regrets.
I don't say it, but I'm sure Juliet is thinking the same thing I am. Ezekiel was her last tie to her former life, her former lives even. Now it's just her and I, the infinite possibilities ahead of us. From here on out, the future is what we create. Linking hands, we look out at the stars together. They twinkle and shine just for us.
Can you see the stars from the underworld?
Not like this. Not so bright and bold and infinite.
I'd miss them if I couldn't see them anymore.
As would I. As would I.
As one, we return to the waiting shuttle and the long ride back to the library. By the time we arrive, both of us are exhausted. Lately, we've been on the same schedule more often. Not just so she can spend more time at the library, but so we can be awake at the same time too. She has to take midday naps every now and then to make it work, but that doesn't seem to bother her too much. Before we can go inside, Juliet stops me with a gentle touch. She turns to me and I gaze up sleepily as she leans in to kiss me. Even through the layers of fog settling on my brain, I'm able to appreciate the softness of her hands and the warmth of her lips. Put my own hand on her shoulder to steady myself and just to feel closer to her. When she pulls away, we still remain close together.
Thank you, Miho, for going with me today. And for giving me a reason to come back.
Thanks for making me want to stay. I'd like to go there with you. Someday. But
Right now?
I now turns into a big yawn. Juliet smiles.
I agree. Right now, let's just get some sleep.
When I wake up for breakfast, I find Juliet frowning in the kitchen.
morning. What's wrong?
She has the fridge door open and is looking into it intently.
Good morning. It isn't a big deal, but I could have sworn there was still half a block of cheese left that I was going to serve with breakfast today. But now I can't find it. Did you have it for a snack?
Nope. Maybe we ate the rest of it yesterday. There was cheese on our sandwiches for dinner.
I believe it was silver.
That must be it. I just forgot.
Probably not.
It's okay. I'm fine with toast and eggs like always.
Coming right up.
While Juliet prepares the food, I make us some tea. Juliet still does most of the cooking, but tea has become my responsibility a lot of the time. I like it because it gives me a way to help contribute to our meal. I've even been cooking for myself sometimes, although Juliet's food is still way tastier. Naturally, breakfast is good even without any cheese. Once we're done eating and just sitting together, Juliet reaches over and takes my hand.
Miho, there's something I wanted to ask you.
Sure. What's up?
Earlier this morning, I saw that I'd received a reply to a message that I never expected to be answered.
What?
A couple months ago, I managed to find someone online that I thought might be related to your friend Zhongying, and reached out to confirm. They never got back to me, and so I didn't mention it to you. But then today, she finally responded and said that yes, they are distant relatives. She said that if you'd like to talk with her, she'd be happy to tell you a bit about Zhongying, or at least what she knows. Is that something you'd like to do?
Oh. Wow. I guess you wouldn't be shocked that I never even thought about them maybe having a family.
I thought that might be the case. You're welcome to think about it and get back to me later.
In my mind, Zhongying was always alone, but with me, they belonged to the forest and to the rest of the world equally. But it makes sense that they weren't really alone, that they had people who loved them too. It hits me that there's so much I don't know about Zhongying. Really, I barely know anything. Every minute shared with me was only represented a very small part of their life. In a sense, they may as well be a stranger. I'm a little afraid that knowing more about them could change how I feel about them too. But I decide that's a risk I'm willing to take. I'd rather know more about who they really were.
Nah, I don't need to. I'd like to talk to her.
Wonderful. I'll let her know then. I believe she's in America, so our times are fairly different. Shall I see if tomorrow evening would work?
Sure, that sounds good. Thanks. And thanks for tracking her down and messaging her in the first place.
It's my pleasure. It's what I specialize in, after all. I'll let you know tonight if I hear back from her.
Okay, I hope she responds soon. I'm gonna be thinking about it all day.
If I hear from her earlier, I'll let you know right away. For now, let's go open up the library.
Right.
Juliet and I both go to open up the front and settle down for another day of work.